Hi. Books is the theme this week. Let me just my room. Okay. So let me just grab the questions. Okay. Things to set you right here and have you be okay. Yep. Okay. We're good. Favorite book? I have a lot. I would say book series would have to be Hunger Games and Harry Potter. Individual book, probably Speak. Author, probably Laurie Hulse Anderson, because I've read most of her books, besides just Speak, like, Catalyst and Twisted and Prom. Favorite genre? I like dystopian and kind of magic. Fantasy and dystopian probably be the big ones. Avid reader, sort of. Depends on my mood. What do you not like about reading? How much time it takes? And especially if you're really into it, you don't realize how much time you're taking. It's like, oh, I'll just read for a half hour. 3 hours go by. Oops. First book you ever read? Twilight.
You talk really loudly.
Because I'm talking to this. I have to talk loudly. Katie, what's the worst book you've ever read? I said Twilight.
Well, I haven't read many books.
She doesn't read. She's a little bit illiterate.
Worst book I ever read. It was... Actually, I don't think I've read any really bad books.
Didn't you read Twilight?
No. I would have it and then put it down because it was boring.
I read the first book and then part of the second one, and they were awful.
Number 4 was pretty retarded. 50 Shades of Grey. I read it. Oh,
Oh,
it's so
50 Shades.
gross. It wasn't gross. It was just stupid, man.
It's like terrible fan fiction.
Yeah, and I read fanfic. That's the one thing I read. See, if it was like a fan fiction thing, I would totally be on that, man.
There was a fan fiction thing before, but you weren't there. I don't think. I don't
I
remember.
never get the memos, man. I read so many fan fictions, it's ridiculous.
Well, I just saw this today, so... Even though it was sent like a few days ago. If you could make any book into a movie that hasn't already been, what book would you choose? I don't know. Like,
See,
all the
I
books
would
I
say-
like. All the books I like are already into movies.
I was gonna say Coraline because that's the first book I read, but it's already a movie.
Yeah.
Witch and Wizard. That's being made into a movie, so I can't that doesn't really count.
That's right, because what is it? Like a bunch of the books I've read and I'm reading
Are now turning into movies.
Are turning into movies, yeah.
Well,
like The Uglies is turning into a movie.
I really like it. I don't think it's movie material, but I guess if they're making 50 Shades of Grey into a movie, it's movie material.
They really are.
It's called The Weight of Silence by Heather Gudenkoff or whatever her name is. Gudenkoff. It's about child rape, so I don't know if that'll ever be made into a movie, but...
Hey, they made...
Lovely Bones into a movie.
They made Lovely Bones into a movie.
Yeah,
so
but, I mean,
it's about rape and murder.
That was pretty graphic, and this one only's got like one chapter, and I guess they could work around that one.
Let's see, what else? Favorite movie adaptation of a book?
Coraline. Boom.
Harry Potter series.
Definitely, Coraline's definitely my favorite book of all time. Like, this is the first book I ever remember reading in, like, the 4th grade. That's really sad, but...
You read The Kissing Hand.
I still have the book, too. It's really torn and taped together, but,
This is the last thing barely even question. Other thoughts on books and reading?
I hate reading. That's what my thought is.
What?
Unless it's fan fiction. I do really like to read fan fiction.
I spent hours for the past 2 days just in the library reading.
Because you're a nerd.
Well, I guess it doesn't count as reading
what?
because half of them were manga, but
I hate reading like required books. Like they just seem 10 times more boring. If I picked the book up myself and read it, I'm sure it'd be awesome. But then if I like read it required, it's so boring.
well, they pick really boring books. They
I
pick
had to
all the
read-
old classics.
I had to
and they're
read
boring.
To Kill a Mockingbird. Like it's a good book, but it's really boring
Of course it's
until the
boring.
end. I was like, oh my god, Jimmy.
Like it is boring.
Make some Skittles.
I didn't mind it because I wasn't required to. It was extra credit.
It wasn't required. Well, it was required because it was on the final.
Yeah.
She read it out loud, and her voice is really just, ugh.
That's what we did for Shakespeare. We just
We
took
did
turns
Shakespeare
reading
too,
it.
and then she read it. No, people like read it out loud, and then she explained what happened. So plus we watched like
Oh.
2 movies. We watched the old one and the new one. So
Oh,
I fell asleep during those.
we had we read the English part. We had the part with the modern
Oh.
English, and that we read the modern English.
Oh, we read it as parts, and then she just explained to us what happened. But I never got a part because I was lazy and didn't want to raise my hand. So that's okay.
Oh well, that's it. So stay tuned next week for someone else's theme. I think it's Braxton. And stay tuned tomorrow for Katie. Oh, I want to show you guys this first. Yeah. Okay. Now bye.